Clara, I need to speak with you. Why haven't you been listening to a thing I say? Don't you remember that you promised to come to my house this morning to make breakfast for me? Bring the vegetables here and prepare.
Oh, good morning to you too, Dolores. I'm pretty sure I already told you, but I'm afraid that while today would normally be a day off, I still need to go to work, so I'm afraid I can't come today.
What are you talking about? That sort of thing is something you can leave to another staff member, can't you? What are you trying so hard for? It's not like a woman like you is going to be able to climb the corporate ladder anyway, regardless of how hard you try. Just work normally like everybody else. You shouldn't be trying to go the extra mile. Honestly, and here I was thinking that you would quit your job once you got married. And yet here you are, treating the all-important mother of your husband. In other words, me, like I'm chopped liver and are just continuing to work. And on a day you're supposed to have off, no less? That's exactly the sort of day you should be accomplishing the tasks you have as a wife instead.
I'll set aside my concerns about what you just said for a moment. If we go along with your logic, you're a wife as well, aren't you?
Excuse me?
Considering your house and mine are completely separate entities in two distinct areas. This implies that our two families have distinct living spaces and activities. Why don't you take care of your own meals?
Oh my. I was wondering what sort of drivel you would come up with. I don't think you understand your place in this relationship. I am the mother of your husband. The moment you became my son's wife, I became your mother-in-law, and there is a certain standing that comes with that. A mother-in-law is to be considered a vital part of the family, and a good wife needs to do as her mother-in-law asks and treat her with the utmost respect. If you have the time to make pointless arguments that do nothing but show how little you understand, you have time to come here and do the breakfast.
I'll be getting off the train soon, so I'm going to get going. Goodbye.
What? How dare you try to just ignore me? Clara, stop being so impudent with me and come back here already. A new wife like you has no right to act so selfishly to someone like me. Cut the arrogance and answer me. Clara, are you there? I will be expecting you to come over and do the lunch today, understand? You need to stop lollygagging, come over to my house and get started.
Good morning to you too, Dolores. I'm afraid that I have already headed out for the day, so I will not be able to come over.
Excuse me?
I don't see what there is to misunderstand. I'm already out of the house and Ralph is with me.
What? You're out with Ralph?
Yes. I had already promised him that we would have lunch together in a French restaurant today.
You made plans with him on your own. How dare you not invite me? I told you that I needed to be considered as a vital part of the family, didn't I? Not inviting me along is terribly disrespectful.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was out of respect that I chose not to invite you along. You always don't like eating outside, don't you?
What do you mean?
The last time I invited you to go out to a restaurant, you said as much and angrily rejected my invitation, remember? Ralph had been listening to the whole thing, and he made the suggestion that we not invite you this time around so you wouldn't get so riled up about it.
You mean it was Ralph's idea?
Yes, Ralph had suggested it in the first place. So all I was doing was following his advice, nothing more. As you are a vital member of the family, I wanted to respect your prior choice and not unduly trouble you. So I didn't have any objection to the idea.
What? But hold on.
I'm sorry, but Ralph and I are going to be arriving at the restaurant shortly, so I won't be responding to further texts. Dolores, are you there? Do you have any idea why I suddenly find myself looking at divorce papers on my dinner table?
So you found them then?
Not only did I find them, I see that Ralph's portion of them seemed to already be filled out.
Well, yes. You understand what this means, don't you? Ralph is on his mother's side. He is choosing me over you. When I brought to his attention how you were so terribly disrespecting me, he immediately got divorce papers ready. And now they have been handed over to you.
Oh, wow. Another case of you trying to bully me. What a completely original and entirely unexpected development.
What are you talking about? I am not bullying you.
Well, you certainly don't seem to have any desire to support your son and his wife's new life together, do you? You can't leave me alone for even a single day.
Don't you go trying to make this my fault. This is all your fault for not treating me with the proper respect and care I deserve. He has no need for a wife who will not obey me as you. If you don't want to divorce my son, you probably should work on trying to treat me better. I suggest you keep those divorce papers with you as a little warning to remind you of how you should be acting. For a wife who doesn't respect her husband's mother's authority, you do realize that there's no real solution other than divorce?
I can't say I have any idea what era you're stuck in, but it's certainly not the present. We're far from the time of treating grown-up children, in-laws, or not like slaves. But since you were so kind as to prepare Ralph's half of the documents and deliver them to me, I'll be happy to go and submit them.
We are going to do what?
We can call this the day that Ralph and I get divorced. How does that sound? I don't see any problem.
Wait, hold on.
What's wrong? Ralph filled out the forms, right? He clearly desires to get divorced, so I don't think there's much I can do about it. I would be a terrible wife if I didn't honor his wishes, even if I might not agree with him. It's for the best.
Wait, no, that's not what those papers are for. Those are just meant as a warning.
Anyway, I'll be heading to the county courthouse to get these papers filed. I'll be heading back to my parents' house afterwards, so don't expect me to be coming back, okay?
Wait a moment. Clara? You aren't seriously going to file those papers, are you? Clara! Clara, pick up the phone. What is going on here? What is happening?
Oh, hello, my ex-mother-in-law.
Huh? Ex?
Oh, that's right. I guess calling you something like that makes it sound horribly disrespectful. Why don't I just call you by your name like I always did instead? Anyways, Dolores, what is it you want to ask me?
Yes. That's right. You're being horribly rude. Don't you think you're going too far?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
Why do I have to move out of this house? It's like I was gotten out suddenly. Furthermore, it was you who suggested that I move out. What's happening to me? It's utterly ridiculous. His rudeness truly knows no bounds.
Oh, really? You still don't understand what's going on?
I truly don't understand what's happening. I want you to explain it clearly.
It seems like Ralph hasn't told you, but I think you should ask your son. I don't want to say much to you. Quickly pack your things and leave by next Monday. I need to take back this house.
It seems like you're being quite arrogant. You're acting as if you're the owner of this house.
That's right. You're absolutely right. I am the owner of the house you've been living in for the past 2 years.
What? This is absolutely insane. If you don't know, then I'll tell you. This is the house my son bought for me. He wanted me to stay in the city so he could take care of me. Since my husband passed away, he has showered me with love and care.
Huh? This is his own house? Let me clarify for you. 2 years ago, when your husband passed away, Ralph was deeply concerned about leaving you alone in a remote town. He suggested bringing you to the city to live closer to us. He could only be at ease if you were nearby. Right from the beginning, he intended to rent a house for you, but the cost was too high.
So this isn't the house he bought?
Buying a house in the city center costs an exorbitant amount. At that time, he didn't have much money either. Ralph suggested borrowing this house to provide you with a place to live.
Just wait. I need to calm down. But how did you end up with such a large and beautiful house like this? How...
Actually, this is the only asset my mother left for me before she passed away. She sold the house in the countryside to buy this house. She put the property in my name. Ralph also knows about this, so he wanted to rent this house for you to live in. And I agreed to have you move here. After all, you are my mother-in-law, so you could live in this house without paying any expenses. But Ralph boasted that it's his house.
That's outrageous. I'm as a beggar living in another house for the past 2 years.
I'm sorry, but that's the situation you got yourself into. I signed the divorce papers, which means I'm no longer Ralph's wife. You're no longer my mother-in-law either. Therefore, I have the right to take back this house. You should accept this and leave.
No, Clara. If I leave, I'll have nowhere to go. I also can't contact Ralph.
I don't care how you'll live from now on. We have no relationship with each other anymore. I have no reason to help someone as unpleasant as you. Remember that I've already signed the divorce papers.
So where should I go?
Isn't it that you still have a small house in the countryside? It's more suitable for you to live there than here. I assume your son has also moved back there. His belongings are no longer in the room here.
Then I'll go back to the countryside to find him. My life will be meaningless if he's not by my side.
That's not my concern. Goodbye.
Kara, please, answer the phone. Look, let's just cancel the divorce, okay? How does that sound? Please, can't you just go back to how things were with him?
I'm sorry. What? What are you going on about all of a sudden?
Ralph said some terrible things. To me, I'll just quote it directly. He said, "I don't want to live with a mother who makes my wife get a divorce because she won't obey unreasonable demands. He told me to live my own life."
Oh my, that's completely understandable. Honestly, I don't even know why you're surprised.
What?
Look, Dolores, there's something you need to understand. It has to do with those divorce papers that you left for me to find. I knew that Ralph hadn't filled out those forms himself. From the very beginning, it was obvious that you had filled everything out yourself.
Excuse me?
The handwriting is completely different. Anyone who has seen Ralph write anything would notice the difference.
You mean you filed the papers even though you knew all of that?
Yes, I have submitted it.
Please withdraw them. He's not at fault in this matter at all. Not even falsely claiming ownership of the house. It's all me. I have shattered the happiness of your marriage. I truly apologize. Actually, I just wanted to scare you because you weren't listening to me. You didn't care about my meals. I just wanted to give you a lesson, but Ralph got very angry with me, and it seems like he doesn't want to see me anymore.
Please accept that your son doesn't want you anymore and go back to your rural area. The divorce case will be processed soon, so please don't bother me anymore. In other words, from now on, we are strangers.
Why does nobody care about me? Why will nobody take care of me anymore?
After I blocked communication with Dolores, she kept calling Ralph incessantly, but it seems he's no longer concerned about his mother either. She lives alone in a small countryside house and takes care of herself. From what I've heard, she's doing farming in the countryside to make a living day by day. Yet, she still complains all day about rural life. She can't distinguish between selfishness and care, probably feeling lonely after losing her husband. Therefore, her actions are driven by a desire to grasp attention and affection from everyone. But it seems like no one cares about her. My life alone isn't too bad either. I'm free to do things I enjoy without her constant nagging. I don't need to serve or cook for anyone anymore. Ralph, on the other hand, hasn't been in touch with me either. It seems he's also hesitant because his mother has caused a rupture in the family's emotions. No longer has any presence in my life. I also don't want to care about his family anymore. Life has become better without him. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button below.
Hi, Miss Miranda. I'm Lucy. I noticed that your son Alex was absent from school today. Is everything okay? Hi, yes, I'm sorry. Alex won't be able to come to school for a while. Is there anything specific that's keeping Alex from coming to school? Oh, nothing much. Alex said he wanted to go back to his hometown to visit his grandparents, so I took him there for a few days. I was so busy at work that I forgot to tell you. I'm really sorry. I see. That sounds like a nice trip. When do you expect Alex to be back at school? We're planning to stay for a few more days, but I'll make sure he catches up on any work when we return. He hasn't seen his grandparents in a long time, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity for him to spend time with them. I understand, but it's important for Alex to attend school regularly so that he doesn't fall behind on his studies. We have some exams coming up soon, and I want to make sure that he's prepared for them. Don't worry. Alex is a smart boy. He'll catch up on any missed work and do fine on the exams. I hope so, but I have to be honest with you. I'm concerned about Alex's academic performance and behavior at school recently. He's been struggling with his coursework lately, and I've noticed some strange behavior from him during class. Really? I wasn't aware of that. What kind of behavior? Well, he seems disengaged from the class and doesn't participate much in group activities. I've also noticed that he's easily distracted and fidgety during lessons. It's possible that there may be something else going on with him that's affecting his behavior. I haven't noticed anything unusual at home. Maybe he's just going through a phase. It's possible, but it's hard to say without knowing more about what's going on with him. But I think it would be a good idea to have him see a counselor or therapist to better understand what he's going through. I understand your concern, but I don't think that's necessary. Alex is just going through some growing pains. That's all. I understand your point, but as his teacher, it's my responsibility to ensure he gets the support he needs to succeed academically and emotionally. I would hate to see him fall behind or struggle with underlying issues. I appreciate your concern, Lucy. I'll keep an eye on him and let you know if there are any changes. Thank you, Miss Miranda. Please keep me updated on his progress and let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Hi, Miss Miranda. This is Lucy. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to follow up with you about Alex's behavior in school today. Hi, Lucy. Thanks for checking in. I'm sorry to hear that. What's going on? He seemed very disoriented and anxious and didn't participate in class activities. He's always sitting in the corner of the classroom looking for ways to shield his body. When I asked him about his trip to his hometown, he said he didn't go anywhere and was alone in the house. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with the boy. We did go on a trip to visit his grandparents, but maybe he's just forgotten. Apparently, he even took a picture with his grandparents and wanted me to print it out. I put some pictures in his school bag. You can open it to find them. I see them, but are you sure these are recent pictures of Alex? Because he looks smaller in these pictures. Oh, of course. I'm sure about it. Maybe because Alex has put on weight in the few days he's been with his grandparents. So you see it that way. Yes, but I noticed some bruises on his arms that looked like they were from someone grabbing him tightly, which had me concerned. I just wanted to ask if everything is all right at home. Oh, those bruises. Yeah, he fell down while playing with his friends. It's nothing to worry about. I can't say for sure, but the bruises looked suspicious. And how Alex acted today made me think that something might be going on at home. Miss Miranda, I have to be honest with you. I'm concerned that Alex may have been abused. The bruises on his arms are a red flag for me, and his behavior at school has been really concerning lately. What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. He's my lovely son. I've never had any reason to abuse him. I understand that, but the bruises are still concerning. I would really like to speak with Alex and get a better understanding of what's going on. You know that there's a counseling room for psychology, right? Please take some time to come here and participate in a counseling session with me and Alex. As his guardian, your presence would be required. No. I am not allowing you to do that. You can't put my son in there and turn him into a psycho. He's just going through puberty changes. Don't overreact. Puberty at 7 years old? I don't think that's a valid reason. Miss Miranda, I understand you may feel uncomfortable with the idea of counseling, but I believe it's important for Alex's well-being that we explore these concerns. I still don't understand why you're making such a big deal out of this. He fell down. That's all. I appreciate that you're trying to explain the bruises, but as a teacher, it's my responsibility to look out for the welfare of my students. And right now, I'm worried that something might be going on with Alex that's causing him to act this way. You should stop talking nonsense about my son. You are not allowed to touch or talk to my son anymore. I will find a psychiatrist myself, so he'll be treated on my terms. We are dealing with some personal matters that we would rather keep private. I'm going to school to pick him up right now. I understand your concerns about privacy, but as Alex's teacher, it's important for me to ensure that he's getting the support he needs to succeed academically and emotionally. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Hello, Miss Miranda. I was just wondering if everything is all right. Alex hasn't been in school for 3 days, and I'm a little concerned. There's nothing to be concerned about. Alex didn't want to go to school, so I let him stay home. I see. However, with only 3 days left until the exam day, it's not a good idea for Alex to take too many breaks. He won't be eligible for the class if he continues to miss school. I understand your concern. I took Alex to a psychiatrist, and she recommended that he rest for a while. So, I followed her suggestion. If that's the case, I can help Alex apply for a leave of absence from school so he won't fall behind. How is Alex's condition? He's much better now. The test results show that he has a developmental anxiety disorder and a tendency to self-harm. The bruises were caused by him. Lately, he's been experiencing a lot of anxiety, and it's been difficult for him to attend school. I'm sorry to hear that. Anxiety can be really tough to deal with. I would like to visit Alex to see how he's doing and offer any assistance I can. Could you arrange that? I appreciate your concern, but it's not necessary. We're taking care of everything at home, and Alex is receiving the support he needs. I understand. Can I at least drop Alex some study materials, assignments, and study guides? I just want to make sure he's doing okay. We're working with a tutor to make sure he doesn't fall behind, so I think he'll be fine. Thank you for your concern, but I'd prefer it if you didn't visit him now. We just want some privacy to deal with the situation. Of course, Miss Miranda. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do to support Alex. Why are there police officers at my door saying that Alex's teacher reported that I abused him? What nonsense did you say to the police? And where is my son? Where did you take him? I reported a serious child abuse case that occurred to my student Alex. I am just trying to protect him. What are you talking about? If you don't have proof, why are you accusing me? Are you trying to kidnap my son? I would never do anything cruel to Alex as you and your boyfriend did. Alex is in the hospital with me. The police have just finished taking his statement. What statement? What the hell are you talking about? After class today, I had to pass by your house. I noticed that your house was locked from the outside, even though you said you were at home with Alex. There were crumpled pieces of paper all over your yard with SOS written in Alex's handwriting. And I called out to Alex and tried calling you, but you didn't pick up. So I went inside to check. Alex was lying motionless on the floor, covered in whip marks and bruises. He was unconscious. This is outrageous. How dare you enter my property without my permission? You have no right to do that. Go ahead. I'm not afraid of you. I had to take action because I saw something that raised serious alarm bells. Alex was lying unconscious on the floor with whip marks and bruises all over his body. It was a horrific sight, and I couldn't just stand by and do nothing. You just make things worse. He was probably just sleeping. Just fell asleep? I broke the window to get in, and the noise was so loud that Alex didn't even move. That boy was unconscious, and the bruises were too severe to be self-inflicted. I called the police and took Alex to the hospital. But I already told you he is mentally ill and tends to harm himself. He's hit himself before, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did it again. Alex's emotions are very unstable. He's in a constant state of fear and panic. He shows very similar behavior to children suffering from abuse, especially when he sees a man wearing a belt. Moreover, Alex has very serious back injuries. So how could a 7-year-old kid hit himself in the back with such great force? You're wrong. He has a developmental anxiety disorder, and the bruises were caused by himself. The psychologists at the hospital checked Alex, and they said his emotions were very similar to those of an abused child. It's clear that he was physically abused, and you're responsible for it. This is ridiculous! You have no right to accuse me of abuse. I would never hurt my son. I'm not accusing you of anything, but the evidence speaks for itself. Alex's injuries are consistent with physical abuse, and as his teacher, it's my duty to report any suspicion of child abuse to the authorities. Moreover, Alex told us everything. Sam, what you did to your son is despicable. You starved him for 3 days and then left him alone to go on a trip with your boyfriend. And to make matters worse, you are the one who let your boyfriend hit him. He said he begged for your help, but you did nothing but sat on the sofa and watched that man hit Alex with a smile on your face. How could you do that to your own flesh and blood? I don't have to explain anything to you. Alex is my son, and I can do whatever I want with him. No, you cannot. Child abuse is a serious crime, and you will face the consequences of your actions. I have already reported the abuse, and they will take all the necessary measures to ensure Alex's safety. You can't prove anything. It's your word against mine. That freaking kid just imagined it all. Oh, I have proof. The hospital documented Alex's injuries, which will be useful as evidence in court. And let me remind you There were crumpled pieces of paper with SOS written on them all over your yard. Your son was clearly trying to ask for help, and you ignored his cries. I don't care about your accusations. You will regret getting involved in my business. I will not regret doing what's right for my student. Alex deserves to live in a safe and healthy environment, not in a home where he is starved and abused. And I will make sure justice is served for him. You don't know anything about me or my family. Mind your own business and stay out of our lives. I will not turn a blind eye to child abuse. It's my responsibility as a teacher and as a human being to protect children from harm. I will continue to report any suspicious behavior or signs of abuse, no matter who it involves. Listen, I understand that you care about Alex, but I also know that kids can make things up. Alex could have just fallen and injured himself. You don't want to ruin my life and my family's life over something that might not be true, do you? I'm willing to pay you a large sum to testify that Alex lied about the abuse. I won't do it. Alex didn't lie, and I won't perjure myself in court just because you want to cover up your crimes. I can't turn a blind eye to what Alex is going through. Money won't change my mind. But think about it. You could have all the money you need. No more struggling to make ends meet. Just say that Alex made it all up, and we can put this whole thing behind us. I can't do that, Miranda. Money won't make me betray a child who needs help. I won't let you get away with abusing your own son, and you should be ashamed of yourself for even suggesting such a thing. I'm not afraid of you, Miranda. I'll do whatever it takes to protect Alex. I can't understand. Why are you so determined to protect that brat? Because I can relate to his situation. When I was a child, I was also a victim of abuse, but nobody helped me at that time. I know firsthand how it feels to be helpless and vulnerable, and I don't want anyone else to go through what I went through. You know you'll never be able to stop all the abuse. Let's just skip it this time, and take the money. I know it, but it's time to break the cycle of abuse and neglect. I will do everything in my power to make sure Alex gets the love and care he deserves. You should stop talking nonsense. One day you'll have to pay the price for meddling in other people's family affairs, bitch! Hey! Answer me! I will kill you! Damn it! One day later, Sam and her boyfriend were arrested for child abuse. The police found evidence in their house, confirming the teacher's suspicions. Miranda and her boyfriend were charged and sentenced to jail for their heinous crimes. Meanwhile, Alex is recovering very well under the care of me and other friends and teachers in school. With love and care, he regained his strength and confidence. I have become his legal guardian, and he's thriving under my care. Alex's story inspired me to advocate for child protection and fight against child abuse. I started a campaign to raise awareness about child abuse and to promote the importance of reporting any suspicion of abuse. In the end, justice was served, and Alex found a new home where he's loved and cared for. Alex now has a chance to live a happy and fulfilling life, and I'm very happy for him.